a cannibalistic killer that's one of the most feared and respected arachnid assassins, versus the world's longest lizard with teeth that literally drip with venom. Which of these moments from Deadly 60 do you think's going to win our Deadly Showdown? My name's Steve Batchel and this is Deadly Showdowns. It's all about bringing head-to-head two iconic moments from my history of filming with wildlife. And today, it's all about toxic terrors. So, our first contender is one of the most feared of all spiders, the black widow. This time, in Texas, we were out searching for mountain lions. Mountain lions have absolutely been my worst animal ever in the history of Deadly. We've spent months in the field looking for them. I've never seen one. We were getting up before dawn, going out, searching, tracking, looking at camera traps. Nothing, not even a sniff. Though this part of Texas looks green and lush, during the daytime it's dry and it's hot, so cats don't tend to be very active. Instead, they're nocturnal. So if we want to stand any chance of finding one, we need to go out after dark. And then it was just after midnight and we were wandering past a cactus and we saw that it was covered in cobwebs. That there is a black widow spider. And as I cast my head torch into the web lit up, bright white, and this little chafer beetle that was flying past saw the white of this light, was attracted in and boom, straight into the cobweb. And the second that happened, the black widow just scampered across the web, full force, plunged her fangs into this beetle and killed it, and then started trussing it up with silk. There, she's doing it, she's biting. The widow spider is armed with a venom which is incredibly potent. These spiders also have in their venom something which turns their prey into a kind of liquid meat soup which she can then suck down. It's all pretty grotesque, but you can see it's unbelievably efficient. I have to say, my cameraman Luke did the most extraordinary job of focusing in on this tiny miracle in miniature, this predatory spectacle that in its own way was the equal of lions hunting gazelle on the Masai Mara or orca hunting sea lions. It was so spectacular and yet so tiny. She's pulling out silk from the spinnerets at the end of her abdomen and trussing this little beetle up so that he can be much easier to maneuver. And then every once in a while she just jump in, stab him with her fangs and inject the venom. It was grisly, it was grotesque, but it was an example of how powerful natural toxins can be. Oh, we may not have found a mountain lion, but this is a sensational bonus. The black widow spider, one of the most venomous on Earth, ruthlessly efficient, an unbelievable predator, and undeniably deadly. Our second contender could well be the most memorable moment on Deadly ever. It was with the world's biggest, largest, heaviest, longest lizard, the Komodo Dragon. The Komodo Islands are very special to me. I've been going there since my 20s when I first worked there as a travel writer, and the country, Indonesia, is again somewhere where I feel very much at home, and particularly somewhere like Komodo. It's so wild, so rugged. It feels like a land that time forgot, and all this amazing wildlife, fabulous bird life, lots and lots of snakes, big wild buffalo, and in amongst them, this living dinosaur, a monitor lizard that gets to be 3 meters long, 150 kilograms in weight. That's twice my body weight, and it's a lizard. And it has teeth that look like this. Curved, they have a scalpel-sharp edge to them, and in recent years it's been discovered that they are smeared with a true venom, as potent as that of many snakes. That is a toxin that's injected through the skin into the bloodstream in the case of the Komodo dragon using teeth. And it uses that to take down its prey. The thing about Komodo dragons is that most of the time they don't do very much. So the Komodos will sit around in the shade, they're very, very energy efficient, and just wait. They can go for days without having any food whatsoever. And then when they do make a kill, it's generally something quite big, they'll feed until their bellies are bursting, and then again sit for more days or even weeks without doing very much. The big change comes when food is introduced anywhere close to them. So we've been working around these dragons, they've been totally ignoring us, and then I brought out a tiny little bit of meat on a stick, and everything changed. This is the special dead goat tying knot that I learnt in Scouts. Okay, we've already got interest, guys, so... In the blink of an eye, it turned from a slumbering creature that kind of looked like a stuffed toy of a Komodo dragon into a fast-moving predatory dinosaur. Oopsie. Okay, that was too quick. I don't think we're going to need to drag any food because I think they're coming after us. And it totally took us by surprise. I should have been expecting it. I've been working with these animals for about 20 years, but I wasn't. And all of a sudden, my entire crew found ourselves hot-tailing through the woods, running as fast as we could, with 3 or 4 fully grown male dragons right on our heels. Well, great! That'll, well, yeah. Look at that, it's a completely different animal. Back up, Graham, back up. These long, forked tongues flickering away on the ground, tasting the scent as we ran. And one of the reasons for that is that we'd hung in a tree not too far away a goat which had died in one of the local villages. And as they came closer, they could smell that there was something around. They knew that there was some kind of food nearby, but they couldn't locate it. They couldn't figure out what it was. And for a second, they switched their attention to us. They were moving around us, trying to get in behind us, trying to get a sneaky bite at us from behind. They were hunting us. 2 more behind us. Make sure you watch your backs as well, because they are everywhere now. And the only thing that we had to defend ourselves was a long stick. We were trying to shove off 3-meter-long venomous lizards with a stick. I mean, seriously, my job is ridiculous. Okay, one of the dragons has the meat. Over there, look, it's tearing into it. Eventually, they got wind and scent of the proper food and where it was, and they all disappeared off and started tearing chunks out of it. But for a few seconds, we had been transported back in time. We were cavemen being pursued by dinosaurs. And yes, I know there were no cavemen around at the same time as the dinosaurs. Please don't write in. I'd have to say that the Komodo dragons was one of the most electrifying experiences I've ever had. So, who wins? Who is the top of the toxic terrors? Well, it's kind of got to be the Komodo. You know, it was utterly unforgettable. It's one of those things that people still come up to me in the street right now and say, I saw that thing you did with Komodo dragons, that was crazy. Well, it was crazy, and for that reason, it is my top of the toxic terrors. But what do you think? We have lots more Deadly Showdowns on BBC Earth Kids, so head over there, hit subscribe for loads of deadly content. And lots more from me, Stevie B.